Hello, this is KRBrickBot, and I'll be reviewing 헬로카봇, Patron S, and Dire EX, because they've both been re-released this month. So I bought one of the old Samukong boxes, price tag still there. And if you noticed, this is not its original packaging. I just took out the plastic insert and just used it as a storage box. I mean, this is a very big box. I mean, both Patron and Dire can fit in this box, and Mighty Guard. So looking at the box itself, the background is the hexagonal background with the city landscape in the back. English name right there. School bus Patron and police car Skid. The entire family's here. 4-in-1. The side of the box. This side of the box, the robot mode. Super Patron and Dire EX right there, and would make a nice cutout poster. Skid, not Skids, I believe is one of the first deluxe size Carbots. I mean, there hasn't been any other deluxe size Carbot before this. So it is a shiny blue police car. And as I mentioned in my earlier reviews, it looks like a very similar model to K-Cop Speed, like a nice design coincidence or recycling. So yeah, very wide grille with these little headlights and this Carbot symbol right there. Little vents on the sides, a white roof. The Korean police symbol right there, like 3 windows. Yeah, it looks like a nice little van or hatchback. And a license plate. Painted red headlight. Wheels spin pretty nicely. And there's just enough clearance for the wheels because there has to be this combining girdle. I'm not sure if it shows up well in the photos, but there is a plastic discrepancy with the initial release and the reissues. The reissues have slightly less glossy plastic and less shiny and glossy paint all throughout. Yup, it looks like the original manufacturer was SLI, while the newer reissue is Danji Toys Co. Limited. I guess that explains the plastic difference. So Skid is looking pretty basic. Just like a white slabs of legs. Skinny arms. I mean, those are really skinny. Just enough for the car sides. Big shouldery doors. Big square chest. Basic feet. And the head is looking a cross between a faceplate and the traditional robot face. Yeah, it's just a nose. It's like a mix between Cyclops and Deadpool. His articulation is about the same level as a Cyberverse figure. No shoulders. Just the non-bicep swivel skinny little white arms on the side to side and elbow. Head swivel. Ball socketed thigh and knee that much for transformation, but no thigh swivels. And an inward foot. Yeah, disappointingly limited articulated deluxe. At least he has 5mm hands. So Patron is just a good old American school bus, which is kind of unusual considering Korean school buses look like this. Yeah, so all the hallmarks of that kind of school bus, all these windows and the bright safety yellow, very square front, orange headlights on the top, a stop sign right here that does not flip out, unfortunately. Obvious click hinges and such, and obvious panel lines. The rear view, easily accessible weapon storage, and also acts as a carrying handle. 헬로카봇 came out with like 3 bus transformers, and what does Hasbro have? Also, actual flying bus mode. The wings can only be angled at this point. They cannot be angled downwards. Interesting hinges. It's not immediately obvious that he's a bus at first glance. Yeah, you can see all the bus bits on the back. I wonder if these would make better feet than these actual feet, because these just look like big thicker clompers instead of rear heels. The design's pretty plain with the simple silver and pentagonical red chest with a golden Carbot symbol. Several stripes and arrows and mirrored R's. Red details on these very long forearm cannons, which have transformational bicep swivels. And a little side skirt on legs that are uniquely constructed. Yeah, he has like lower thigh swivels and a knee. The head is also keeping it simple with this simple round shape. A simple crest and two simple red side crests. A very simple faceplate and a simple baby blue visor. This kinda looks like earphones though, and why does he have two screw holes on one head? The wings are simple folded up slabs of roof, unless you spread them out, though that's more for the big mode. And there's a molded wing in this very square wing. Yeah, I'm not sure how effective that looks. But there's a wing and a wing. His main accessory is this magical wand? Well, it's a mystery stick. But yeah, it's just really silly to match this thing with this robot. I mean, it has royal regal wings and a blue crystal. Are you sure this is not a magical girl staff with an extended handle? Yeah, so the reason this thing is long is because it has to clear the kibble. But yeah, so a transformer with a magical girl wand that shoots bubbles. Bubble wand. To combine him with Skid into Patron S, first split him apart. Not like that. Tucking in those back wheels will help him lock in the legs to pull him apart easier. Into a vest. And then plonk the siren on his head. Clip it on the front and in the back. Patron S. Patron with a car vest that boosts his speed somehow. I mean, this is pretty superficial, and yeah, it's just also it kind of hinders his line of sight because it really covers his neck, and also there's a big chest thing protruding out. But kids enjoy combining as long as you can smash two cars together. And are you sure that's not supposed to be a bow tie? So here's the Dyer EX box.
Dyer X!
Green top, red bottom for that color motif. Metal bolted word mark. English name right there. Dyer Axe. Or Dyer Axe. The whole family's here again. The toy rack release right there. The back is essentially the same as Patron's box, just a full combo poster. Prepared since March of 2020. Way to unnecessarily bulk up the empty space here. So, leap or leaf? Yeah, this letter can be pronounced either way. I guess I'll go with leaf. So, she is a generic ambulance. Just a green, red, and yellow ambulance. There isn't anything particularly Korean about this, unlike Help from Mighty Card here. I mean, this is the distinct symbols here and the distinct logo right here. She doesn't have any of that, it's just a ambulance right across. And I mentioned before, but this is like a scale outlier, like this one seems close to deluxe size. While everyone else in the Mighty Guard team is actually kind of bigger, like a masterpiece, like. So yeah, this is a pretty big deluxe car. Undercarriage junk is very minimal, and there is low clearance because of this combining harness thing. And comparing it with the reissue, really the noticeable difference is the change in paint tone. Yeah, this green is darker. Not sure what they did to make that different, but your taste may vary in which slightly shade of green looks better. I guess I think the earlier lighter green shade just makes them a little more lively. So her robot mode is essentially half of the ambulance. Yeah, just the lower half. And it's a pretty okay-ish robot. I mean, there's a lot of kibble on her. I mean, these very noticeable door side hinges that really have nowhere to go. Because on the side of the legs, it really shows some kibbly front. Yeah, this really doesn't fold in, and it also locks the foot in place. I suppose you could also move it backwards, but then you can't move her legs back on these very disproportionate shin to thigh ratio legs. I mean, she has not been skipping leg day. Yeah, really only like this, but not backwards. So I guess it's your preference on which way you would like to display it. Simple little arms, simple little thin arms on these elbow bends all the way. Ball-socketed shoulders with these silver platform bits, and a very noticeable medical, pretty generic green plus on a little yellow shield. This one is a little off-center, and also the corners are a little chipped. So this head sculpt kind of looks feminine with those side sloped protrusions on the side that kind of look like hair or wigs. That's how I imagine fembots would be like. And she's also sporting a monocle eyepiece on a visor, although the visor on her side is completely filled in here as opposed to just the little slit. And two little green crests on top. So the top half of her becomes a giant wing pack or crossbow. Doesn't seem very medical. So this is mainly the dyer's weapon, but you can plug it on the back for a giant wing jetpack thing. Kinda makes it like giant skirts, but then you have balance issues. So I suppose you could just fold this up for just a kibbly shell back, or just flip it around for storage mode. Or, you know, just have her wield the giant thing by herself. Or a gun emplacement or a sentry turret. Comparing it with the reissue, the biggest difference is this yellow is much more orange. Yeah, I've noticed that with a lot of the recent reissues. The once was yellow has been really saturated to orange. Factory change. And yes, some of the reds are a little darker, slightly darker. This for some reason doesn't fit in as well. Yeah, I think, yeah, the green is also quite darker. And the same goes for the crossbow bow thing. More darker red and much more orangish yellow. Also, this one has some molded brown stuff in there. It's like been injected in the mold as well. That thing doesn't come off. Yeah, nitpicky. So yeah, there's that. I guess Dyer is the airport fire truck. Very long airport fire truck with a little ladder. Yeah, that is a simple ladder. No sliding joints, just a hinge that can clip in here, which I'm sure many of kids have broken these clips. I don't see any nozzle on this thing though, so I'm not sure how this thing is supposed to shoot water. So looking at the fire truck itself, yeah, it's a very long truck with all sorts of nice sculpted details in here and a painted R, little windows, doors and such, grills, a molded Carbot symbol right there, another door, and if you reveal this, there are more details in here like these little smokestacks, made in China. Not much on the back. It's a nice little detail with obvious feet. And yeah, if you open this, yeah, you could see even more details. Like there's a molded hose in here. Too bad it doesn't actually do anything. Very curvaceous front. And green headlights and big windshield wipers. And 2 rear view mirrors. No, these are tabs, but they kind of look like rear view mirrors. Yeah, overall, yeah, it's a very good, chunky fire truck. So Dyer is certainly a very wide, rotund, and thick robot. He is absolutely thick. Thick thighs, thick shoulders, thick torso. A green chest gem thing with yellow and a Carbot symbol right, not on the crotch, but close to the crotch. Front wheel design. Very thick clompers, no pre-molded ankles. No thighs for this big guy. I guess he has to hold all the weight. And the shoulders, they have a big symmetrical R's on each of them, and on these little shoulders, they look like they're tampograph speakers or water cannons. Arms are short but simple. These panels do the best they can to cover these hollow spaces on these bicep and wristed arms, with 5mm ports on the front wheel here, or the hand, in which the ladder can go either way. And the head sculpt is like a crown, yellow band, silver crest, and a face with a nose and a chin but no mouth. He also has some floor plate patterns on the shoulders and thighs to fill in the space, although they're meant for gripping onto flat surfaces, so is anyone going to be standing on him like this to combine it into Dyer X? Fold back these wheels and just split her apart into a fist, and they can totally pull off a Deacon Frost. Clip him in. And turn this thing into a crossbow. And you could either take the back port and plug it in, or just plug it on the side. Yeah, but the back port gives more clearance. And don't forget to put the little siren on his spring-loaded head. I suppose Dyer X works better since the blue and yellow don't clash on Patron, since this is white, so they complement each other. About the same clearance and neck and visibility issues. I almost missed this, but Dyer has an extendable neck. It really helps him clear that leaf vest. So to retract it, just push it in all the way. Now, I'm going to nitpick the scale. If you can see, I don't think a school bus and a fire truck should be this enormous compared to the little guys. I mean, these are like proper deluxes, while this is like masterpiece. It would be as scaled as this. I guess you could pass off Dyer as a larger-than-life super style vehicle. Just maybe they can find like 4 to 6 people in this, rolling down 2 lanes. But I'm not sure if a bus that is as big as a truck is excusable. I'm not sure if Patron and Dyer should be scaled to Skid and Leap, or Skid and Leap should be scaled to Patron and Dyer. I mean, I think in some shots they're about the same size as cars, or smaller than cars, or smaller than Carbot, or the same size as Carbot. Okay, the scale is as consistent as G1.
슈퍼페트론 더블 플러스.
Press these buttons and slide these upward. Smash these together into a separate fire cab. Whatever good that does. No, actually, you're supposed to flip out these little feet and spread it out. Clip. 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 Turn those hands into cannons. Shoulder cannons. Give him a gut-splitting split. smoosh Dyer's head out of existence. Lock it in. Slap all the accessories. I guess this thing is ridiculously awesome. I mean, we just have Dyer with extra legs and extra tall boots, just with Patron splitting into a upper torso and just being plonked on. And he has 2 sets of arms, like 2 separate shoulders. Like, these arms are now shoulder cannons. And these arms, these side skirts, become nice epaulets with Carbot symbols molded right there. But the joints for the arms, since they were the knees in the main robot mode, yeah, these, and they don't have any other extra joints. So for Super Patron, he just has sideways elbow action. Double sideways elbow action. And these must be like the fakest robot hands in a car or bus gauntlet. It's just, I think, only this top part is an actual 2 fingers. Yeah, he only has 2 fingers with a 5mm port in there. It serves a purpose, but yeah, it's a shallow hand. Patron with a siren head crest is charmingly simple enough, but 2 at the same time? That kind of looks a little doofy in my opinion. I'm not sure if this looks better, but this kind of really looks like a bow tie. Though he may not be as tall as Devastator or Omega Supreme here, he still is very ridiculously tall. And keep in mind, this full set costs more than either of them on the sheer quality of its plastic quality. And this thing is not coming apart unless you press these 2 buttons, which in turn press the gray buttons on Patron. And unlatch these, so this is a very secure connection. Yeah, triangular locks. Yeah, so this is a fun little versatile set. A little guy on the go and a big bus or a truck. And you can put them all together into big tall robots because kids and kids at heart like really big robots. Though I'm sure people have their preferences when it comes to multi-packs, like 2-packs or 3-packs. Out of those multiple characters, there's going to be one that's their favorite and they like to most interact with. I imagine for some or most, it would be these little 2 guys, Skids and Leaps, since they're little deluxe-sized Transformer Carbots. Yeah, they're small enough to carry around. Others might prefer Patron and Dyer more, in spite of their big chunkiness and clunkiness. So if you're gravitating more toward the deluxe-ish Carbots, then this $100 set each might feel like a little bit of a ripoff. If perfectly estimating, you'll probably be getting like a $75 big guy and a $25 little guy. But I think most of the cost went into just the plastic quality. Yeah, so while I do think it might be a little overpriced, I guess that's the retail price they decided on, and you can't really get it any cheaper unless it's secondhand. And it's not going to get any cheaper if these reissues sell out soon, so if you're really into these, whether for diversity or size, I would suggest picking up the reissue soon.
Be sure to like and subscribe, and thank you for watching my video on Super Patron. And you can be a patron on my Patreon. Okay, I know it's a little premature for me to start a Patreon now. I think that works best for creators who have built a large following. And I don't have much. So the best I could give benefits for are names at the end of my videos, personal Q&As to be featured at the beginning of my videos, maybe some behind-the-scene production files for what little I have. I imagine no one will really support me now, at this state, but eventually, hopefully. My Patreon's just gonna be sitting there, not just for the sake of a namesake.